All uniformed personnel, out in, foot. All uniformed personnel, present, arm.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All uniformed personnel, order, arm. And for those in the coming future, and thank you, City, for doing this for us and partnering with us. Thank you.
Eduardo Gomez Rojas.
Thank you, Jim. Stuart Mayor Kelly Glass-Layton, Congressman Brian Mast, Stuart Vice Mayor Becky Bruner, Stuart City Manager David Dias, Stuart Community Services Director Jim Korolski, Stuart Rotary Foundation David Dial, President, and Paula Nicoletti, Board Member, Stuart Public Works Director David Peters and Tim Volmer, City Engineer, Stuart Veteran Service Tony Reese, Friends of the Memorial, past and present veterans, family of U.S. Navy Seaman Second Class John Jack R. Matthews, World War II hero honored today, fellow artists, friends. It is my pleasure and my honor to be here at this event for the second time in 2 years. I thank the City of Stuart and the Stuart Rotary Club Foundation for the opportunity of creating the sculpture for the second phase of the Distinguished Service Memorial Park Monument. I am humbled by your confidence in my work, which started with the sculpture on the other side of the monument. I also want to thank the team of people who were involved in making the design and the construction of this monument possible. People don't realize how many hands are involved in the creation of a work of art like this. Joe Capra from Captech Civil Engineers, Tom Lucido, Lucido and Associates Landscape Architect, Troy Smith, True Stone Masonry, who made the pedestals, Lazaro and Esmerlin Valdez, owners of ASU Bronze Foundry. I would also like to acknowledge some people who helped me in a more personal way. First, and please raise your hand if I call your name, or I would like to acknowledge my friend Bob Myers, who served as a model, a hand model, I may say, for stage number 1 of this, but couldn't be here at last year's unveiling. Bob is a veteran, a graduate of West Point, and a friend, and I use his hands and the folded flag which belonged to his father for the other sculpture. Last but not least, I owe a very special thanks to Colonel Janet Sands, who I hope, where are you, Janet? Who was my consultant and my advisor for phase number 2. She volunteered her time and accompanied me to the home of the models that I used. She dressed and directed the model as I did a long photographic study to assist me in designing and making this sculpture. And last, but certainly not least, to my daughter Alexi Choberka and my 5-year-old grandson, John Paul, who were the models for this sculpture. Today I will try to be very brief. I know it's hot. And you're probably wanting to go to Brian's event. I will speak exclusively about how the art concept for this sculpture came about. In thinking and doing research for this second sculpture, I came upon the reality that many of the soldiers fighting and dying in today's wars were women. In fact, Florida has the 3rd largest population of female veterans in the United States. When considering these facts, it struck me that a mother leaving her child to protect mine had to be the ultimate sacrifice. A soldier, any soldier, leaving his or her children to protect our children. I could not get this thought out of my head, and I actually became obsessed with this mental picture. Due to the shape and size of the space where the sculpture would be mounted, I was forced to design a sculpture with a kneeling figure so it would fit, rather than a standing one. When I directed the model to kneel on the floor, the relative size of the backpack that the soldier was carrying struck me. It was overwhelming. However, it occurred to me that it was a perfect metaphor for the size of the burden that was being placed on the soldier. The soldier is in a semi-kneeling position while hugging her child. Initially, I thought of including the child's face in the picture with the mother, but decided against it because I wanted to focus on the expression of the soldier. So I moved the child's face to the other side, to the blind side. You could then see the mother's full body and facial expression while holding her child. I chose to make the expression of the face of the soldier serious and contemplative, rather than outwardly emotional, because I felt that this created a tension which posed a question to the viewer. The soldier seems lost in her thoughts, as if she is considering the enormity of the situation. She could be praying, she could be leaving, or she could be returning. She could be thanking God for protecting her and her child, or asking him to do so. The child the soldier is hugging can be anybody's child. It can also be a symbol for our nation, for our institutions, for our way of life. Why is she doing this? Unconditional love for her country can be the only reason. That is why the title of this sculpture is Unconditional. Thank you again for all those who contributed to make this work of art possible.
Okay, drum roll please. We are going to actually do our unveiling. So I'd like to call... Once everyone gets situated, what I'll do is I'll count to 3. Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. And also, if you'd like to take some photographs with the artist or any of our commissioners, they're here and available for you. Thank you very much for coming today.
I think the pretty green is just because there's no people.
And then I announced to say, initially it's going to be you can get it. I know you're okay. Oh, how did your work go?
Come on.
Lolita was a piece of model that I had. All right, I think my country kids. I said hello. So that's why now I know why you
That's the professional.